Well, good morning. It's Memorial Day here in the United States. This is Dr. Bill Williams on the Influencers Podcast, and I want to welcome everyone for turning on and tuning in today to our Influencer Podcast. And we're going to have an exciting time talking with Nick Pudenti, who is the hiring expert at EMI Labs in Seattle, Washington, where the home office is. But right now, I'm going to bring Nick on and tell us a little bit about where you're broadcasting from today. I know it was your birthday yesterday, and you probably went home to be with your family. So, welcome to Influencers Podcast, Nick, and happy birthday once again.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Dr. Bill. Right now, I'm in Argentina with my family. I born here in Buenos Aires. I moved 5 years ago to Seattle, Washington. But sometimes you need to be with the family for these special occasions. So it was a nice week with them.
Excellent. Well, we're so glad that we could carve out some time to talk on this holiday weekend. And we want to find out more about EMI and what you're doing. It's a special occasion. And we want to know where you were, what happened, and who you were surrounded by that got you inspired to do work in the hiring business.
Yeah, it's a fun story in that sense. I started working as a recruiter for a university. Part of my job was to create an area that tried to connect people with companies. Specifically, these people was students, bring them like better practices and how to apply to jobs and these kind of things. And from the other side, it was like, hey, we have the job from the companies, so we need to connect them. So when I finished that project and I started to look for another jobs, I found EMI. It's the current company where I'm working. It's a small startup with 5 years in the market. And where I started working here, it was a business development focus for Latin America. I never hear something like that. It was like, well, what I have to do, what is my new job. So I started to run in this sales area as business development representative, trying to find new customers, new clients, trying to present the solution to our customers. And then I started my career in business development. Right now, as hiring expert, I am leading a team of 7 people. We are focused on business development for all the markets, like particularly United States and Latin America. But we are growing and we want to find more clients, and that's part of my job and part of my leading role for my team.
Now, I understand you're using automation, chatbots, AI to the max, and you have a specific niche in the recruitment process. We talked earlier about blue collar and white collar. Why don't you explain to our audience how you're addressing the needs of the audience or the
Yeah,
customer base that you're looking for?
exactly, Bill. In recruitment world, you have like two big words: white collar and blue collar, and we are solution focused in blue collar. What we do is like we generate a platform for our clients and our customers that is a chatbot with artificial intelligence, that the focus of our solution is to bring a better experience for your candidates. So in this kind of processes for blue collar on hourly roles and these kind of positions, there is lack of technology that is focused on what the candidate needs, and they are more focused in what the company needs, for example in terms of information or ATS or HRIS. But if you go to the side of the candidate, they need something that is expressed, that can understand them, that can talk with them, that can help them. So we created this chatbot that is artificial intelligence to process your candidates. So we are like the body of your candidate, and we pre-filter them, we schedule their interviews, we help them to understand what they are doing, what is the time the interviews and these kind of things. So it's like a system for the candidates in these kind of roles. So our solution is focused on not losing candidates, to bring a better experience for them, and to emphasize, to bring them the best experience that they can have in the market.
So you remind me of a friend of mine who started dentalpost.net, which was a hiring system for dental assistants and dental hygienists, which is not just exactly blue collar, but it's not quite white collar either. It's a service job. And this particular young lady did very well, became part of the Inc. 5000, and sold it off to a bigger company. So, do you guys have a goal of becoming a large conglomerate, and then taking your money and going into the ocean cruises of the world?
It could be. We are not closest to what we can go. Part of our vision is to first, we are in like the candidate experience, like in the first parts of the processes, but we want to be like the platform that allows this kind of candidates, this kind of people to find a job, to bring them value, to bring them new knowledge, and to prepare them for obtaining new jobs and have different work experiences. So right now we are working with 7-Eleven, Starbucks, different brands that are big brands that they have a lot of candidates, a lot of people trying to work with them, trying to learn new skills to grow in their companies, but they're starting in these low skill positions, for example, helping in the restaurants and this kind of roles. So in this stage of the startup, we are choosing the recruitment part, but where we want to go is to all the experience for the candidates. Like we want to be a tool for them to, as I told you, like to obtain a job and grow in the company and obtain more expertise.
Sounds to me like you're really customer focused and looking to prepare the workforce of the future,
Yeah.
to succeed. That's a very laudatory goal. Now, I know it's probably not been smooth sailing the entire time. If you have a startup, 5 years, you run into some snags. Tell us your greatest failure story, what you learned from it, and how did you recover?
There's a lot of stories, and more in my style that I was one of the first one in the company, and part of my work was to create this business development area. I had my coworkers during that time, but it was like, hey, welcome. This is our client. This is your Salesforce. Do your job. Um, Part of that was like to generate the campaigns, to understand what I should sell to my prospects and my clients and how to bring them value. So for example, one failure was I tried to change my whole platform for sequences and campaigns in one day. Was a really hard hit for me because it tried to do like these super big changes is not a good decision. I think you should like fail quick and small so you can iterate during the process. So my learning there was if you're going to change a platform that is the main point of your work, do it slowly and first focus in what you can change and not try to change everything. But I don't know. Other, for example, other learnings that I had was talking with my clients and trying to say, hey, this is the best part of my platform. I want to say you this part. And they don't care, for example. You need to adapt your pitch and your presentation to them, what they need. You need to understand what are the pain points that they are having right now and not being so, I don't know, harsh with that, like trying to, hey, this is my technology, this is what I am selling you, and this is going to work with you. It's more like, hey, I am here to help you. I need to understand your pain points. I need to understand you. And maybe I am a good fit for you, and maybe I'm not. So be open to hear and to understand your client is another thing that I learned in a bad. It was a good learning, but it was rough to learn.
We had the same similar situation in our business, dentistry. We always said be firm in principle but flexible in procedure.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, more when you are selling software for your prospects, you need to be super flexible because sometimes they don't understand your solution. You have the solution that they need, but you ne- you need to explain it as quick, easy, and good as possible. It's like if you are going to explain your solution to a kindergarten, like if it's too complex to explain, they are not going to understand and they are not going to buy you. So you need to be smart in that sense.
Hey, I have a couple of questions here that tie together with why others fail. We're talking about your clients, why they fail, and then let's talk about why the job seeker, the blue collar job seeker, fails. Uh, what's the top reason for each one that doesn't quite make it,
I
and
think that
how are you going to help them not fail next time?
there is a lot of things that are happening in this market. For example, the context transformation, like the pandemic changed the way that this market is working. Sometimes people doesn't want more of these jobs. They are applying to Uber or this kind of works that are flexible. But also what is happening is that there is not technology adapted to our candidates. Sometimes companies buy bought solutions that are cheap, are good for them because, hey, I am a recruiter, I need to use a platform that is easy for me, I should understand. And more if you are a big company with a lot of recruiters that they need to use your new software, and it's like, okay, use this software because we need it. But the problem there is that also you have the other part of your problem, that is your candidate. And this kind of solution, maybe they are easy for companies, but they are not easy uh, for a candidate. You need to be in the shoes of your candidate. They need the work right now. They need someone who brings them a response, who is going to be there to respond the questions, to be quick as possible, to understand what they need and understand their needs. They need to bring food to the table today, not in 1 month because you are processing their profile. So I think right now in the market, there are a lot of things aligning it. Like there is a lot of candidates in the market looking for a job. There is a new trend of technology. For example, as we talked a few moments ago, the revolution of artificial intelligence in terms of chatbot and ChatGTP and this kind of technologies that is allowing us to generate better conversation through platforms, for example, Facebook, Messenger, and SMS or different ways. And this context, this symmetry of things is bringing a new world for these solutions. So in the past was like, hey, I'm going to say you a new forms. So your candidate need to complete all this information and you're going to obtain your information in your software. Right now, things are changing. So companies need to find solutions adapted to the new context. Um, Also, I think sometimes we are people that develop new technology is not trying to be in the shoes of your customer as your client being the candidate. And sometimes we are like, hey, they are going to fill this form. But if you go to the street and ask them, hey, you are going to fill this 100 times, it's like, no. Our company was created in a process of being there in the street with the people. Like we were helping people to create the CV, their curriculum. So it was like talking with them and, hey, this is a good way to generate an application for a job. And they were like, no, I cannot print this page. So okay, we need to find a new way to do it. So it was like that. I think we right now we are having lack of solutions for this kind of candidates and this part of or this context more like, and they are appearing and we are part of this change.
I'm sure you see a lot of changes in the marketplace with Chat GPT. Do you find that it is displacing a lot of people, and how does that affect your business, and how does that affect your motivation to revolutionize your product, to bring it up to speed, to use the AI that's available?
I know that there is a lot of debate around if this technology is going to change us and it's going to move us to another work. I don't think that it's going to be so straightforward in that sense, because we need to understand that technology is a change of paradigm and we can adapt to them, and also we can adapt the technology to us. So we need to see these kind of changes as tools for us, and we need to be what we are, the best humans, and we need to adapt ourselves and learn and try to understand how to be better. For example, my team is sales reps, and it's super easy for us to go to ChatGPT and go, hey, write for me this email. And yeah, ChatGPT can do it, but you need to have that sense of understand, hey, this mail is going to be successful with my prospect, or should I put my effort and change some parts and understand my client, understand the pain points, and go with another version of that email. So I think this kind of artificial intelligence is not here for change us and to move us. It's more like to complement us in our work, and but we need to be as responsible for our own work. We need to understand how to use it and don't let the technology to display us.
If you had to give us the company motto of EMI, what would that be?
Uh, Client focus, like we in both senses. As I told you, like we are here for the candidates and our solution is adapted to our candidates, but also for the companies. Companies, they cannot afford to have generic technology, like the same platform for everything and everyone. They have their own culture, they have their own ways, they have their own processes. And sometimes when we sell like this kind of technology that is adapted to our client, we need to understand that, yeah, adapted is not just a technology term, is also a change management term. So we need to adapt all our solution to them, to our clients.
You have to listen well and adapt.
Yeah, exactly.
Would that be one of your success secrets? And how would you give us the top three secret sauces?
Yeah, one is that one, adapt. You need to understand your skills and you need to understand what you don't have and how to learn it or how to compensate that. The second one is listen. Sometimes you are going to have good advices, sometimes not so, but you can learn from even people that is not here for helping you. So you can take these learnings and adapt it to you. If you are agree, great. If you are not agree with what this person is telling you, okay, try to find something for you. Try to hear and learn. And the third one is experiment. You need to try things. Like uh, I see it a lot in business development. There is not like a standard process to be successful. It's like just try, test, experiment, and then change and go again. And it's like this go. Not it's not like going big and successful. It's more like, okay, try to find what is working and try to find your own way.
Incremental
Yeah,
increases, A/B testing forever.
yeah. I be testing everything. Like, please, A/B testing all the things that you are doing because you're going to learn a lot.
Tell us why somebody would choose EMI Labs. Like, what kind of company would be your ideal company?
We sell to retailer, food production, manufacturing companies that have a lot of candidates for small amounts of profiles, and they are always like hiring. So why should they buy to us? Because I think we're a solution that is not also is focused in your candidate, but also we are learning with you. We are not just like software. We are more like advisors for our companies. So we bring this knowledge from the industry and we iterate a platform and our solution to what is happening or what you need. It's not like, hey, this is my solution and be happy with that. And we are a startup, we are flexible, and we are learning with our customers. So we are partners of our clients in that sense, and our main focus is to help them. If our client is not successful, we are not successful, and for a startup, we need to be both parts successful because we want to grow up.
Now you talk about clients, the ideal client. Do you have monetary reward from only the one side that's the hiring client, or do you find clients for the companies that you represent? They pay also.
Yeah, we try to be be direct with our clients in that sense. Is like our client and us with no like middle terms and sharing experiences, because part of being like bring change management to the company implies like a relationship with our clients. So we need to be not just transparent, we need to be like open to hear our clients and to bring them like, hey, this is working and this is not working and we need to be transparent with you. So our like ideal client is the one who wants to change and wants to be adapted and wants to be competitive in that sense. If we are not talking about ICP and these kind of things, of course, it's more like a cultural thing for our clients. So that's the one that wants to be competitive and wants to be like smart in that sense and adapting to the market.
And to find the workers to fill the spots, is there a particular ideal worker client?
Yeah. Um, Finding the candidates is more complex than just technology, and we are part of that. So we bring value. The most valuable part of our solution is to automate the repetitive task. It's like the scheduling, these kind of things. It's like, okay, go ahead, this is automated. What is the challenge is to fill the candidate, like to find the candidate that want to work with you. And that's the other part of the solution, the advising part. Like, hey, you have the people in the field, you have your recruiters, they're in the cities, they're in your stores, and we have the knowledge of what is working in the market. So let's partner together and understand how you can attract your candidates, how in your store you are going to be more attractive for them, how you are going to put your QR code or whatever you want to put in your store. So the candidate, when they go to buy things, it's like, ah, this is a job. So that part is not something that is solved with technology. It's more like solved with human capacity.
Now, I see a lot of stores that have employment opportunities on every wall. You know, they're looking, and I always think that would be your ideal clients. But do you do work online to market through social media and whatnot?
Yeah, yeah, we go with the full package. It's like social media, job boards, and also like the field recruitment. So we bring knowledge of what is working, what is not, what is the job board where the candidates are and they are being successful. Hey, is Facebook jobs working or is not? And we've tried to understand what is converting, because maybe sometimes you can attract a lot of candidates, but you're not recruiting them because they are not qualified for your position. So it's a mix of all the things in that sense.
Tell us about your well-defined products and services that you offer the clients.
Uh, we are a platform basically. Um, it's a platform with the platform and the chatbot. It is really straightforward in that sense. And part of the services that we bring them is our customer success team that is going to be with them for all the processes, all the implementation, all the growing up, and all the changes that they need. So even with the platform focus on our client, we have the best part of a solution is our customer success managers working with them and trying to understand what is happening in your market and how you can attract your candidates and convert them into new hiring.
So each of your platforms comes with some person or a team of people who
Yeah,
focus in and help the individual companies use the platform properly.
exactly. Yeah, there is, of course, in change management, you need learning, you need adaptability. So all these kind of library that you need to understand, not even using our platform, mm, like being a good fit for frontline workers, we have this kind of understanding and this kind of values proposition for our clients, like our set of library for them.
Tell us about the competition. You're kind of going into a fairly virgin territory. It looks like with blue collar, but do you have competition that you try to outdo, improve on?
Yeah, there is competition because you have like indirect competition like HRS, ATS. Even when we are integrated to them and we can complement another platforms, it's like kind of competition. And there is another chatbots, for example, website chatbots and other solutions. So how we crash them and how we compete in this new market is like first being super specifically with what we do. We are not a solution for everything. You cannot use our solution for whatever you want. It's special for frontline. If you have a pain there, we are the special people that you need to understand and to solve your problem. If you want to solve all your hiring problems, maybe we are not a good fit for you because we are focused in one particular pain point. That's one part, and the other part is because we are a startup, we are flexible, we can adapt, we can change, we can negotiate, and everything. So we are trying to enter the market and grow in the market with this kind of methodology. Like is,
Tell me
I
about
mean,
the
yeah. Sorry.
Tell me about the online platforms that you like to use that your company relies on.
Yeah, we use a lot of Notion because we are a startup. We are not so much, and we can still use this platform to share knowledge between the different teams. Being a sales representative, you need to understand what technology is doing, what product is doing, what CX is doing. So Notion is a good platform for that. As a communication platform, we use Slack. Um, we find it flexible and can integrate to all our systems. So it's a good way also to share the knowledge around the company. And what we discover and we are using a lot as sales development is HubSpot. We had a lot of platforms going around, and then with HubSpot we connected everything in one platform. So we follow all our processes there.
All right, thanks for sharing that. And tell us about the five-star client experience. What do your clients feel when they really get the best experience?
The first part is to in our process of with our clients. The first part is implementation. With implementation, part of this five-star experience is to share first start what do you want and is going to work or is not going to work, and have clear times, clear schedules, clear work for both parts. We are commitment with this platform, with this solution. So it's not just that we are going to work. You need to work also because this is going to be a change for human resources. So that's the first part, to be commitment with the solution and the implementation and the times, because this is a big project of change. And then during like the grow up, the launch, and the working, is like, hey, if there is a problem, please bring it quick, as fast as possible, because we need to iterate and we need to change and we need to adapt. So this, like being in a conversation with your client and being transparent what is working and what is not working, and being open to change and to understand and to hear, that's another part of the 5-star client experience.
From startup to implementation for a particular client takes about how many weeks or months?
It's going to depend of the size of the project. It can take from 2 months to 4 months. But part of the idea is to implement as quick as possible and start part of the project, and then go with maybe the most difficult part later. So you have the platform running and working, and then you go with particular things. And hey, I need a special integration for my ATS. That can take months because it's difficult. So we push our clients to, hey, let's try to start with the first part, and then we go with the particular parts that are going to take a lot of time. So 3 months is a standard.
Thank you for that. How do you convert your clients into brand ambassadors?
uh, Being with them is difficult, but part of what allows the change management and the use of platform is being there with them, visiting them, and being like, hey, I am being one of your recruiters. I am with them. I have been talking. I've been visiting your stores, um, sharing this knowledge of, hey, I've been in your store and I saw a candidate using the QR. Maybe we can move it to there. So being part of the culture and being part of the company, it what brings this brand ambassador, because we are a team together and we need to work around this.
Let me ask you about some specific ad techniques. Do you have paid digital media as part of your growth of EMI, where you use the different LinkedIn and Google and Facebook ads?
Yeah, we have a marketing team that is using Google and LinkedIn ads. For us, Facebook is not maybe the best platform for advertising in terms of selling our platform. In terms of obtaining candidates for our clients, Facebook is the best one. But for us, LinkedIn is the best because we sell to C levels, managers, heads, and this kind of people in human resources. So LinkedIn is a platform that is being super important for sales development and marketing, because the discussion is there and the professionals are there. So we need to be there.
That makes much sense. Do you have a recommendation for people listening in that might be starting companies up based on your experience? You know, what percentage of revenue do you recommend people invest in paid digital media?
I cannot give a number or percentage because I am not there. And when I joined the startup, we didn't have a marketing team, but I think it's something that you need to evaluate and implement as quick as possible. Marketing is a foundational part of your startup. So we need to go hard and go with that, because you're going to lose a part of your marketing if you don't go with marketing from the start.
I agree with that. You know, in our dental business, we always said, 3 to 5% is normal when you're established, but you need to have a little more. When you get started, you don't have any clients and you don't get the word of mouth until you've been up for a while. Let's talk about what advice you would give yourself. You know, you're talking to your young self. I know you've been doing this for a few years. So, what would you tell yourself on the day you started out in business? What you know now?
Uh, it's funny because when I was 20-year old, I was studying philosophy. It was like another world. So what I should tell to me is like, don't close yourself to new experiences, and try to like don't try to, hey, I need to do the complete bachelor's to do this job. It's like, hey, start maybe with courses, start learning small things, and try to understand what likes to you and what you can do and how you can do it. So it's being as all what we've been talking, being flexible. Sorry that I'm super repetitive with that word, but it's very important in the professional world that we are right now, with this context, with all these things that are appearing. You need to be flexible. You need to see when iterate, when change, when learn something, and how to implement it to you. Because maybe it, like everyone wants to start developing and being a programmer. Maybe you don't need to understand Python as go to the computer and do code, but maybe should some words should to be in the conversation. It can brings value to your current work. So be flexible, Nico, from 2 years old, 20 years old. Sorry.
Is there somebody in your life who's a living mentor, and what's their impact on you?
Yeah, I have some mentors. I like to have mentors. I like to interact with people that is more qualified, more with more knowledge than me. I was part when I was younger, part of a program in Cambridge that was the Shaping Horizons, and during that time I had an advisor, a mentor called Mike, and he bring me value as being not just super helpful with that project in particular, more in a personal level with what should I do, these kind of things that these methodologies that hey, be flexible, like this is your solution, but maybe you are pushing a solution that the world doesn't want or the world doesn't need. So try to talk with the people, try to understand what they need, and adapt what you are bringing to the world to what they need.
Well, our mentors are a big part of our lives. They
Yeah.
do cause us to want to emulate them. Was something that they imparted to you, something that you want to bring forward, or do you have something different you want to impact the world with?
Uh, I yeah. Uh, Even being in a startup that wants to conquer the the workforce world, um, I think in a personal level, one needs to be in fact impactful with the ones that are surrounding you, with my friends, with people that maybe I don't know, but I share time in the street or in the university or wherever. It's like you can bring value to them. Sometimes it's giving them an advice, giving them some knowledge and different things. So big changes came from small actions. So that's why it's important. We can change the world by from our side and doing small things. It's not necessary to change the complete world. It's just being nice, just being a good person, and you can change the world from that side.
Now, you're a young fella. You got a lot of years to go. When it's all said and done, when you're like my age, what do you want to be remembered for?
Uh, I am super. I want to be remembered as a visionary or an innovative person that changes the world. Um, with my friends, my people, and all the people that surrounding me, it's important to be nice. So I want to be remembered as a nice person, someone to that brings value to other ones. But if we go to the newspaper, it's like, hey, this guy shared a solution, changed the world. That's how I want to be remembered. So I am trying to do things for that.
Tell us how we can support you and EMI. What are the
Uh,
links that can lead us to find out more about you?
there is, of course, we you can find us in LinkedIn, and also in Google. You can go EMI Labs, and you're going to find our website. I think sharing and networking is the best way to support us and support us together. Like not just EMI as a company, we can bring value to our clients, and we are going to do it. So that's the best way to interact, to responding, to talking. That's the best way. So networking is the supporting thing.
Very good. I'm sure our audience will be interested in going to EMI Labs and Googling and looking on LinkedIn and learning more. If they have a need, then you have a solution. What would
Yeah.
you say about your guest experience on the show, the Influencers Podcast today, Nick?
I loved it. I think these experiences are great. I feel really welcome, and it was an interesting conversation. So always happy to share what I know and to hear the other podcasts, because I am learning a lot with this influencers podcast. So it was a great experience.
Well, we thank you a lot for being on our show, and it's great to hear you actually very clearly from Argentina, all the way from Buenos Aires, a city I know well. I've been there, enjoyed your country, and I enjoyed your time on the show today. So I'm going to give you the final word, and then I'll come back after I close the show out and speak again. So hang on a minute, but I'm going to give you a final word to talk to our audience.
It's going to sound kind of cheesy, but I think find always the time to read, find always the time to learn. It's important to grow as a professional, and there is always a good time to grow as a professional. So there is a lot of tools, there is a lot of knowledge. You need to understand what you need, but bring time to your life to do that, to continue growing in all the things that you want to do. Maybe it can be a hobby, it can be a professional thing, or wherever, but have time for that. That's important. That's part of being human. That's part of being a person. So that's my final word, like learn.
There you have the final word from Nick Pudenti of EMI Labs in Seattle, Washington. So I want to thank Nick for being on. An excellent program today. I also want to invite everyone to pick up a golden ticket today. Go to otrim.co/golden with a capital G. I want to invite everyone to come into our ecosystem of ONPASSIVE. And it's important that if you want to see the latest in the digital world, the new internet, and it's going to be at the golden ticket. So I'm going to invite each of you to come in and get a special invitation through this link from me, and then we will be joined together from now on. We have our social media platforms, we have communication platforms, and a very significant thing is happening this week. Perhaps on Thursday, we're going to open up O Connect to the world, and we're going to be able to share that with everyone. So I want everyone to know they can get it at this particular URL. So that's the show today on the Influencers Podcast. And thank you for sharing your time with us today on Memorial Day. And we look forward to talking with you again later this week on the Influencers Podcast, streaming live from Atlanta, Georgia.